Alright, welcome back to the Lanky Lifter tier list series. So today we got the chest exercises. So obviously this has still got a bias towards people that have longer limbs. So from my experience, these are some chest exercises from coaching people and myself personally that are on the taller side, work really well for overall chest development and size. So today we got a slightly different theme going on. We have the Mafia video game series. I don't know if anyone's ever played it, but I've recently picked it up and I'm really enjoying it because I got the definitive edition quite cheap on the Microsoft Store. And you're going on a bit of a nerdy rant, but I used to love the Grand Theft Auto games and I had the Godfather game on the PS2 back in the day, so I've always had a bit of a thing for like Mafia sort of games. But I don't know why I've never played the original Mafia games, but anyhow, so I played the first one and I'm currently playing the second one. So the top tier today we have Vito. He is the protagonist in the second game, and I kind of felt like he was a bit better than Tommy so far. I don't know, but like I have put Tommy as the second tier, and we have Eric in the third tier, which Eric is Vito's sister's husband, and he beats her and he cheats on her, so he's pretty much. I'll have to dub that swear word out. But yeah, essentially top tier is the best exercises. Second tier is like, yeah, you can still do them and you'll reap a lot of benefits from doing them. And Eric's kind of just like, they're pretty average. You can still do them if you really want to, but I wouldn't recommend doing them over the top two. I will at the end. I have time coded this video, and essentially someone mentioned something to do with score tracker. So at the end, I'll do a summary of the exercises written down in a little list where you can follow along if you want to skip towards the end. But I do recommend watching the full video, mainly because I will be giving great explanations on reasons why you should do specific exercises and the benefits for them. So all right, we'll kick into it. So the first exercise I have to talk about is the floor press. So the floor press when you're a taller person, I don't feel like it has a lot of benefit on actually working your chest. It's more of a tricep and shoulder exercise. It is a great exercise to get around some nagging issues that you may have with your chest and the shoulder. So you can give it a go based on that fact. But if you think about it, when you are a taller person, once your elbows hit the ground, like look how much space there is before like to my chest. Your chest is not getting stretched whatsoever, so you're getting barely any activation on the chest. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it over a majority of these lifts in here. You can experiment with it if you want. If you are, say, a powerlifter or something like that, and you're trying to just get a massive bench press. But for hypertrophy sakes, I wouldn't recommend it over the others. So I'm going to put it in the Eric. If you have shorter arms, you might get a bit more out of it, that's for sure. Next is the deficit push-up. So this has been a good one. Like, I used to think, but then I started doing these either towards the end of my session or if like I can't make it to the gym. Man, these blow your chest up. Like the amount of stretch you get, because like even you think about when you were a taller person, look how much stretch you get on your chest anyway. Look how far your elbows are back on the negative. Like with that, it's even further to your chest. It's getting absolutely mangled in a good way, obviously. But yeah, I'll put these in the video. So as I'm doing this, you might notice like the ones closer to the characters are probably the top ones of that tier. But as I said, at the end of this video, I'll put a little summary down of which ones I would recommend in a numbered format for people that are a bit more analytical, anyhow, and just kind of want to know. But yeah, enough. Push-up. Push-ups pretty good. Like if you're a beginner, you can get a lot out of push-ups before you even go to the gym, you know, or like even as a finisher exercise towards the end of your session. I just recommend if taking a slightly wider placement of your hands, because it'll target your chest a bit more than just because if you have your hands quite close in, like tucked in, it kind of hits your triceps quite a lot more. But yeah, you can get a lot of a push-up if you're a beginner. Definitely do push-ups to a point. You'll get to a point where like when you're strong enough, like 20, you can do like 30 push-ups, and then it's kind of just like you might as well just put a barbell or use some dumbbells, you know. But yeah, if you're a beginner or if you want to use it as a finisher, push-ups are great, and obviously you can do them anywhere in your home gym. You can do them outside, bro. Like just they're great. going to put them in the video. Next, we have this supine plated chest press. So this is a really good machine. I haven't spent a lot of time using it, but it's super stable, and you can choose the hand position, what suits your shoulders, and won't hurt your shoulders as much. And the only problem you have with this machine is that the grips sometimes can be quite slippery, so I recommend using some chalk if you get sweaty hands. And you don't see them that often in gyms at all. Like, for some reason, it's in my little small gym, and it's not a lot of equipment, but we have one of these, and it's like awesome. So you can use it. But yeah, for that reason, I'm going to put it in the tummy, just because it's not often that you would see one of them in the gym, you know, like, but otherwise it's a great exercise that you can do. And if you're focused just mainly on hypertrophy, you don't have to do barbell bench press. Like, barbell bench press is great, and I feel like a lot of people should learn it, but yes, if it's focusing just on hypertrophy and getting bigger chest, then make use of some machines. That's for sure. Obviously, everything is always just a tool in the toolbox. Next is a good one. This is a really good one. So for me personally, when I do dumbbell presses, my triceps are usually the first things that I give out, being quite a longer limbed person. But a good other option, another variation, is the fly press, and I've been doing these recently, and holy crap, my chest. The chest is the main target muscle for this, and it'll be the first thing that gives out, you know, like so definitely have an experiment with fly presses. I got this from Jeff Alberts, I'll stick a video up anywhere, and he does them, like, he does the fly presses, he's like boom, 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 and then once he gets to like an RPE, being in reps in reserve, I can talk about that another time if you don't know what that is, and then he switches it over just to a standard dumbbell press just to finish it off, and he squeezes out an extra few reps. And man, they're insane. And obviously, the great thing about this is dumbbells. It's super time efficient. Anyone can do it. You have dumbbells in your gym. You won't be using as much weight as if you were using a normal standard dumbbell press. So, and obviously, you can do them at home. So they're a great tool. I'm actually going to put them in front of deficit push-ups because I actually think they're great for taller people, especially when you have long arms. Next is the dumbbell press. Obviously, another versatile piece of equipment, just the dumbbells. So you can do these obviously in incline. You can do them flat, the same as the fly presses. And yeah, I just recommend trying to go quite deep on them, because if you think about it, like if you're doing a barbell press, you only go so far. But if you can get deeper on the dumbbell, it'll put more stretch on your pecs, and you will obviously get more growth out of them. So yeah, dumbbell presses are great. They're obviously a great assistance exercise. You could do them over the barbell movements or the Smith machine movements or machine movements if you want to. But yeah, I recommend it as an assistance exercise. It's great to your bigger lifts. And I'm going to put them in the video, and I'll put them in front of the yoga, like the deficit push-ups, because mainly everyone does them and they're a great exercise. So, right, next is the barbell bench press. So you get a lot of people saying that they don't feel their chest doing a barbell bench press, but I reckon the majority of the time it's mainly just people don't spend the time to try and figure out the form that works best for them, or they get shoulder pain from it. So the thing is, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. But I feel like anyone who's a beginner should spend the time to learn how to do a barbell bench press, because the carryover of the form, like being able to retract your scaps and just being able to like get really tight and using your core muscles to engage to get like more tightness, is just a great thing to learn how to do, because once you learn how to do that, you can jump into any chest machine in the world and you will be able to get everything out of it. So just learn how to do barbell bench press. And if you don't like it because, I don't know, like structurally you're just not built for it and it just irritates your shoulder, then yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a great lift, and I'm quite biased towards it. And obviously, if you think about it, being a taller person, as we already discussed, shorter people, their shoulders, their elbows will be about here on the bottom of the negative. But since you are a longer limbed person, you have a lot of stretch in your chest, even just from a standard barbell bench press. So give them a shot if you don't already do them. And the other thing is that every gym in the world probably has a bench, and at least a squat rack that you can set up the barbell bench press. So, and obviously you can do them at home. So being very versatile, and just kind of being the standard. Like everyone always asks, like, how much do you bench? Obviously, being a taller person, longer limbs, we have the disadvantage of probably to a shorter person with small limbs. Not to sound like a big corp, but it is kind of true. You don't really see many powerlifters with massively long arms that are in the elite anyway. But even if you don't have a incredibly strong bench press compared to a short person, you probably would have more developed pecs. Like if you see a tall person with long arms that can do a 315 bench, his pecs will be bloody like juicy melons. So yeah, I'm gonna put them in front of the fly press. Sorry, it's just how it is. They're super versatile. But yeah, if they don't agree with you at all, just don't do them. Do something else. There's plenty of other chest exercises that you can do. Next is the chest fly, just using a standard cable machine. I always kind of feel like these are just super awkward to do. Like they feel good and like they're just not like super stable, and you have to like, push your leg in front and kind of just balance. And I feel like I'm always taking up 2 cable stacks doing them, so I just don't really do them. If you do have the benefit of having like say a free motion machine in your gym, and you can kind of just use 2 cable stacks at the same time without people waiting on you. Obviously you can work them with people, but it's just a pain in the arse. But yeah, it is a good, I say assistance. I keep saying assistance exercise like I'm a powerlifter, but it's a good exercise you can do like a bit later on in your session towards the end just to finish off your pecs. But as I say, you could probably just do some like deficit push-ups or just stand flies instead with some dumbbells. But yeah, they're a good exercise, but I'm going to put them in the tummy for now. You can make them a bit more stable dragging a bench over, but that's just another additional thing that you need to do. And obviously if you put a bench in the middle of 2 cable stacks when someone else wants to do tricep push downs or something, then you're kind of just taking up space. So that's just my opinion on it anyway. Right, the pullover. So for me personally, the pullover is more of a lat movement. You do get a bit of chest engagement. You can like go a bit further back and kind of push your chest as well. But for me personally, I kind of just feel mostly my lats in it. So if you're a longer arm person, you might have the similar issue as me. But if you're on the shorter side or have shorter arms, you might get a bit more chest out. I don't know. It is definitely one to experiment with. But I feel like this is way more better chest exercises that you can do. But if you want to give them a go, why not try them? Put them in. I'm going to put them in the Eric. Sorry. Next is just standard flies. So flies are great. As I say, I've already talked about the fly press, which I really enjoy doing. But the flies themselves, if you're not doing push-ups, you're not doing deficit push-ups, you're not doing cable flies, or you're not doing dumbbell presses after a heavy push compound lift, or heavier push compound lift, give flies a go. They're a great exercises to finish off your chest. So I'm going to put them in, I'm going to put them in Vito in front of push-ups, mainly because anyone can really do them. You can do them at home. You don't really need a lot of weight to do them. You just need a bench. So you can just do them at home. You can do them at the gym. They're pretty versatile. That's what I already talked about. Next is the Smith machine bench press. So me personally, I haven't had a lot of experience with the Smith machine bench press, mostly because I haven't really done them that often. But from what I've heard from people with longer arms, it's quite a stable exercise, and if your goal is just purely hypertrophy, then it's kind of a no-brainer. Obviously, you have to spend time trying to find out which is the best setup that's not going to completely aggravate your shoulders, and just the best bar path that is more suitable to your anthropometry. So, but yeah, give them a play around. Obviously, you can do inclines as well. I have got these in at some point in my program to give them a go, because I do want to work on my incline pushing. That isn't barbell, because I have read that it's a good way to get into it before you try the standard. So yeah, give them a go. I'm going to put them in the front of the tummy, because every gym has a Smith machine. I know Smith machine's kind of trendy again now, so you may have trouble using it, well, are getting the equipment because someone will be on it. But give them a go. Obviously, it's quite stable. When you've got long arms, stabilities can be quite an issue sometimes. So yeah, give them a go. They're definitely worth playing around with. Next is the decline bench. Decline bench, I don't feel like you need to do a decline bench press. Essentially, when most people do a standard barbell bench press anyway, like they are on a slight decline from their arch. So, and a standard bench press will grow the bottom portion of your pectoral. So, yeah, I don't feel like there's any reason to do them. You can do them if you do enjoy doing them. Obviously, adherence is one of probably the most important part of going to the gym. And if you enjoy doing decline bench press, and you push hard on it, and you progress with it, then yeah, it's all yours, man. Like you're gonna get a lot of gains from it. So, but for the above exercises, I'd probably use those first for the compound lifts anyway. Next is just the incline bar bench press. Yeah. So the incline bench press, incline barbell bench press, you will get a lot more range of motion than a standard barbell bench press. So if it's the first time you're doing it and actually being longer arms, you will get even more range of motion. Just kind of ease into them, and it will be a great exercise in the terms that you will get a lot of stretch on your upper pecs. And it will probably increase your shoulder mobility overall. But yeah, just go easy on them. It is definitely a great exercise, and I'm going to put it in the top. Probably in front of the standard dumbbell bench press, because it's a great exercise, as I say. But if you do have access to a Smith machine, you can play around with that and see if that feels a bit more comfortable for you as well. Next is this is another thing that's in my gym. It is a incline matrix push, like bench press, like chest press machine, but the incline set so high it kind of almost is like a shoulder press. And yeah, I don't know, like if the more modern ones that you find, the slightly lower incline. So for an incline bench, you usually want it to be set about 30 degrees. So that's either you set it slightly steeper and you arch into it, or you have a slightly more flatter back and you do it, and that should target around your upper pecs. You can just play around with just playing around for dumbbell and just seeing what you can feel it. Like it's kind of bro sciencey, but like you'll be able to feel the upper pec actually working. So try find the height that works for you. But yeah, this machine, I'm not gonna like shit on it too much because it definitely has some worth, and it will effectively make your upper chest a little bit stronger. But like, it is more of a shoulder press. I'm probably gonna put it in as a shoulder press exercise at some point. But yeah, if you can get it to fit you, like I feel like when I use it, I can't even like fully lock out, so it's kind of almost like a partial. So I guess the partial bros would probably love it a bit more. And as I say, long length partials with like tension in the long muscle length is all the rage right now, so you could just use it. And I think I've heard the hammer strength one is just as bad, but yeah, you just play around with it. It might work for you, it might not work for you. Being tall, sometimes machines is quite hard to fit into, and essentially they become more of a partial because we have arms that are too long. But I'm going to put it in the Eric tier, probably behind the decline bench. Next is the standard matrix chest press machine. Man, I actually really like this machine. Like, you usually just see grandmas on it in the gym, but man, you can get like an insane stretch on it. And if, say, you have like an injury or something, each of the handles like move like unilaterally as well, so you can kind of get around stuff. And I feel like it's a good exercise. It's a good alternative to dumbbell press, that's for sure. Or you could even probably do it over the bench, like a Smith bench, but I don't know. Sometimes the machine actually moves from when you put too much weight on it. But yeah, it's definitely a good one to do about my mid-session anyway. Mid-session, like an upper day or something. So I'm gonna put it just below the dumbbell, just mainly because I don't think a lot of people will have access to a chest press machine unless you go to a commercial gym. I think most commercial gyms will have them. I'm guessing even Planet Fitness probably has one in the States. So most global gyms will have a chest press machine like that. So make use of it. Why not? It's pin loaded, it'll save a lot of time. You don't have to like warm up on a barbell bench press, so it's definitely a good time saver. Next is the incline dumbbell bench. not much more to say to that. Like, it's just as good as the dumbbell benches and the barbell. Say you could do maybe like, say you do a flat horizontal press, and then you could do the incline first or second. You could do it in front of the before the horizontal flat press, or you could do it after, just to make sure you get both of the parts of your chest worked in a session. So yeah, give that a go. I'll probably put that in front of the chest standard dumbbell chest press, because mainly everyone needs more work on their upper. Like, you don't really see a lot of people that have massive upper chests unless they're like more towards the advanced side of things. So yeah. One I have missed out on this, which I've just realized, is the close grip bench press. So I will put that in the little overview at the end, just to summarize, wrap things up. But yeah, the close grip bench press is a great exercise because when you're taller, I feel like when it's a bit closer in, so I just do it just outside of my shoulder width, and I feel like it's a super stable exercise, and I actually caught up to my barbell bench press doing it. But the only problem is, make sure you're still getting a lot out of the second exercise that you do just for standard like horizontal. So like, because I got up to the same amount I was doing for my standard barbell bench press, but my actual barbell bench press regressed a little bit when I went back to it. I don't know if that's more like a, what's the word, neurological adaptation, like technique. I lost a bit of technique on it or something like that, or just my body wasn't used to it. But yeah, make sure you do something like a fly press or something else that's more of a flat, just to keep your pec strength up. But yeah, it's definitely built my triceps up quite a lot, and you do get a bit of chest out of it still. So the close grip bench press, I would still probably put up there, maybe just between the chest press machine and the dumbbell bench in the Vito. But yeah, definitely experiment around with, or if you have a second day where you're training your chest, do the closer grip bench, just to accompany the bench press. So yeah, that is the chest press tier list today anyway, and I will wrap up with a little summary of the tracker. So cheers.